once again, and today I really wanted to talk to you guys about the feeling of being stuck. Yes, I know, and I really hope that by the end of this video you can feel just a little bit more inspired if you are feeling stuck yourself. And because being stuck doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. What being stuck means is that your mind, your body, and your soul are really trying to communicate with you, and they're trying to basically tell you that you're not necessarily on the right path. And so before I get into that, there are actually two ways of feeling stuck. There is the internal way of feeling stuck, and then there is the external way of feeling stuck. So I want to go over first what it is to feel externally stuck. So basically what it is to feel externally stuck is when you are trying to get somewhere and your environment is not letting you. You feel as if your environment is not letting you. So I'll give you several examples. One of them, the classic is when you're wanting to start a business and you need money to start this business, and you need lenders, you're looking for investors, and nobody is trying to invest on you. You're not getting the money that you need, and this can bring a huge amount of frustration. I understand. New entrepreneur here, believe me, I understand. And what I'm trying to say with that is that maybe you need to change your game plan. Maybe you need to do things a little bit different, okay? And I'm not saying going back. I'm not trying to say go back into, I don't know, wherever it is that you were doing before and save some money and then, put it into your business. But there's always a different way. And when you're feeling stuck, I am actually going to call this, in your external world, I am going to call this bullshit. Sorry, but hear me out. So, you are your own creator, okay? You create your own reality. And when you are stuck, my friend, and that comes from an external point of view, you are creating that reality as well, okay? And then you may say to yourself, well, what do you mean? I am doing the best that I can. Well, let me give you another example. I trying to make my relationship better, and I am trying to work with my partner, and he or she is not cooperating, he doesn't care, or she doesn't care, she's not putting in the work, and I'm doing the best that I can, and things are not working. What do you mean? It's like, I don't create this. I can't change their minds. I can't change the way they think. I'm trying here, but I can't change that. And I completely agree with you on that. You cannot change other people's minds like that, but you can change your external world by changing your internal world, okay? And by this, I mean, look at the reasons why you really want to change whatever it is that you want to change, or you want to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve, or what you want in life. Look at it. Look at it from a very honest perspective. Okay? So when we're talking about our life purpose, we want to, first of all, understand if this is what you truly want. And if this is what you truly want, then you need to take a different approach. That's all that being stuck means, is take a different approach into things, okay? Again, I'm gonna stress, I'm not telling you to go back. I'm just saying, work with different resources. Find what it is that you need to do in a different way. Maybe you don't need $100,000 to start up a business, which you don't. Nowadays, many people start up a business with a lot less than that. Maybe you can use 10,000. This is what I'm trying to say. And when it comes to a relationship, well, I understand that your partner may not be cooperating, but shouldn't that be a sign for you to move on? If you really want a beautiful, satisfying relationship and your partner doesn't seem to be cooperating, your family doesn't seem to be supportive of this because maybe they're tired of seeing you unhappy, with this partner of yours, why don't you start to look at yourself and say, well, maybe I do need to change that. Maybe I am the one that needs to change my whole reality when it comes to my partnership, when it comes to my relationship. So this is what I'm trying to say, that you are your own creator, because you really are. You know, it is your choice whether you want to stay in the situation, being stuck, or not. And then when I'm talking about, let's say, something a little different. Let's say that we're talking about getting a new job, finding a new job, and you can't find a new job. Everybody says no, right? Well, maybe you're looking in the wrong places. This is what I'm trying to say. You know, and then you say to yourself, well, that's the only thing I know how to do. That's all I know. Well, ding, ding, ding. Don't you think that life is telling you, listen, you need to like start learning other things, start opening your mind into other concepts? Because we cannot always do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. It's called insanity. And we all have spiritual contracts that we sign up before we come down here. And when I mean spiritual contracts, I do not mean being a healer, a therapist, or I don't know, a psychic, I don't know, or a hypnotherapist like myself, or a life coach. No, 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 no. Some of our life contracts are just to own a nice little shop, to be a teacher, to work with animals. You have to understand that we get so engaged by our society standards that we forget what our purpose is, and it happens all the time. You know, when we come down here, our society tells us that we have to, you know, have money, climb the corporate ladder, be rich, that we have to just have a title, go to grad school. Many of us that like to be scholars, oh, we have to have that PhD. If not, we're not gonna make money. If not, we're not gonna be, you know, important and be called doctors. Trust me, I know a lot of people that go for their PhDs just so they can have that stupid title. No pun onto people that want to get their PhDs from the heart. Yes. So, you know, this is what I'm saying. Look at yourself and look at your intentions. Why are you really doing this? Because what happens is that it's like you're climbing up this ladder and you're going up, okay? And then you get to a point where you just cannot take any more steps. And then you say to yourself, but this is what I want. This is what I've been looking for all my life. You know, this is what I've been working for all my life. How come I'm not moving? Well, maybe what you've been looking for all your life, it's a bit shallow. Or maybe it's just not your purpose, okay? You haven't looked at yourself from within, and you haven't really looked at the reasons why you want to do whatever it is that you're trying to do that you feel stuck in, okay? And then many of us, there's a whole other group of us where we feel stuck because we feel like we cannot achieve it. I'm calling a huge bullshit on that, okay? Huge, okay? Just because we cannot achieve some big dreams, that's another thing. If they're like really big dreams, chances are that is society telling you to reach those big dreams. Because living a nice, beautiful, simple life can be just as fulfilling. And I'm not trying to put it down at all whatsoever. But when you do something that you love, the money flows. The money comes to you and the happiness just flows. What I'm trying to say is that you really have to take a look at your own intentions, and whatever it is that is not working for you, you can change it, okay? Another thing is that, well, talking about the second way of being stuck is that we have our internal world, right? Our internal world. So this would be like if you feel really down, if you just, oh my goodness, if you feel like everyone around you is trying to push you to do something and you just feel like you can't do it. Actually, I know this happens to a lot of people, where people are telling you that you can't do it or whatever, and you're like, no, this is, it's too much, and it's too big, it's too much work. What? What do you mean it's too much work? When you really want something, when you really truly want something, you put in the fucking work, okay? Sorry, it is what it is. When you really desire something, you put in the work. So if you're not really putting in the work into whatever it is that you desire, like being a professional soccer player and you're like already like 32, maybe you don't really desire that. Maybe you desire that as a child. Maybe you desire that because it looks so beautiful to play soccer, and you know, these guys have you know, they have a pretty cool life, I'm not gonna lie to you. But what about your own natural gifts? What about the fact that maybe you're a really good salesperson? What about the fact that you can really convey people into buying something that they will truly love? Why don't you take that into a larger scale? You know, why don't you sell airplanes? That's what I used to tell somebody I used to know all the time. I'm like, you're so good at selling, you shouldn't be here. You should be selling airplanes. And actually, he kind of is. He actually ended up selling Mercedes, and he thanked me later on, and he was like, oh my God, you're so amazing. Thank you so much for encouraging me, because I always wanted to sell Mercedes, and now I do, and I really needed that push. And this brings me to my next topic. If you feel like you really want something and you don't have the support system to get it, and you maybe need a little push, and maybe need to learn to trust yourself and believe in yourself, get a life coach, guys. That's it. Get a freaking life coach. Somebody that can encourage you, somebody that is there for your own goals. Or see a therapist. You know, if you really feel like you need to heal some things, if you have a lot of pain and you just can't move on forward with your life, go see a therapist, go see a doctor. Maybe you're suffering from depression. Maybe you need to get into medication for a little bit. Listen, I am not about like pro medication, and I'm not pro anything that has to do with chemicals like that. But sometimes some of us do need it, and it does make a big difference in us. So why don't you just think of that? And most of us don't really need conventional therapy. Most of us really do need a life coach, somebody that is there so we can talk to, that encourages us, that is looking out for our best interests, and that can help us believe in ourselves. So, I mean, I'm just letting you guys know that being stuck doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, but at the same time, it's like, take a good look around you. You know, take a good look at, you know, maybe being stuck is really trying to tell you something. Remember, the mind, the body, and the soul, they work together. And you do have a purpose in this life. You do have a purpose into living a life that you're supposed to kind of be the example for others. And it could be something so simple as taking care of children, or taking care of animals, or working with animals, being an animal trainer. I'm talking a lot about animals, but that's not what I'm talking. That's not what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get at the fact that your life can be so much more awesome if you just listen. And other ways of trying to kind of help yourself and trying to understand what it is that you truly want, get to a point of happiness, get to a point of laughter. And when you get into these points of happiness and laughter, and then ask yourself, well, what do I want to be when I grow up? That is when you really find out what you want. Because when you're in a low point, you're never going to get anything. You're never going to get any answers from within. You're not going to listen to your inner voice. But when you get to a point of just calmness and laughter and joy, and then you ask yourself these questions, you might just get answers. And then that's just step one. That's just step one of the other steps that you need. Like I said, I already repeated what you need. You may need therapy, you may need medication, a life coach, you may need to change that partner, you may need to take a different approach, but just listen from within. Another amazing way, and yes, I'm going to say it, is meditation. Meditation is not only sitting still and just not hearing anything. Meditation is sitting still and get in touch with your inner voice. But the problem is that most of us are scared to be honest with ourselves. But this is your chance to make something really amazing happen for you. If you just sit still and just listen to yourself. You know, every Wednesday I teach a meditation class on the beach, and it's incredible, the people that keep coming back, you know, the things that they tell me, how balanced they feel, how much they get to get in tune with themselves. And I understand a lot of you don't get to obviously be with me, but you can do guided meditations, and you can just sit with yourself for 5 minutes and just kind of listen to what you really want. That is just being completely honest with yourself. And yes, it can be a little bit terrifying, but I promise you, you will get answers and you can live a fulfilling life. I promise you all that. Alright guys, I'll let you go. Like, share my video, whatever you like, send me an email. I love you all. Till next time. Bye.